going in the city, are we? No, we're not. Are you f***ing kidding me? You better not be taking me anywhere I don't want to go. I want to go into the city.
It was supposed to be a weekend of fun for Amber Tuccaro, her female friend, and 14-month-old son Jacob. Their plan? To fly from Fort McMurray to Edmonton, Alberta, Canada for a getaway weekend in the city. Unfortunately, that weekend of planned fun would turn into a 10-year mystery that still haunts all who knew the free-spirited Amber Tuccaro. On the night of August 17, 2010, the three checked into the Nisku Palace Motel in the nearby town of Nisku, Alberta, roughly 30 minutes outside of Edmonton, to save money and get a good night's rest. The plan was to head into the city the next day. Later in the evening, for reasons unknown, 20-year-old Amber decided she wanted to head into the city, leaving her friend and son Jacob at the motel and hitchhiked a ride by an unknown male around 7:30 p.m. Little did they know, that would be the last time anyone would see Amber Tuccaro alive. The following morning, when Amber failed to show up at the motel in Nisku and she could not be reached by her cell phone, her friend immediately called Amber's mother Tootsie, and a missing persons case was filed to the RCMP. However, Edmonton police did not take Amber's disappearance seriously, believing that she was most likely out partying and would eventually show up. Sadly, Amber never did show up, although family and friends still held hope that they would one day see her again. Two years after RCMP was contacted, a piece of evidence was released to the public and stated that they now believe Amber Tuccaro was murdered, although her remains have not been found. The evidence that was released is a recorded phone call that Amber had made to her brother while he was incarcerated in the Edmonton Remand Center. Her murderer is believed to be the man within the phone call. The clip is only a minute long. However, the actual call was 17 minutes. The only people who have heard the entire call is Amber's mother Tootsie and the detectives working the case. When asked about the 17-minute phone call, Tootsie states the beginning of the call, Amber is just being Amber. By the end of the call, she is terrified for her life. Have a listen.
Where are we by?
We're just heading south of Beaumont, or north of Beaumont.
We're heading north of Beaumont. Yo, where are we going? No, this is a... Are you f***ing kidding me? You better not be taking me anywhere I don't want to go. I want to go into the city. Jeez. Yo, we're not going in the city, are we? No, we're not.
Yes.
Then where the f*** are these roads going to?
50th Street.
50th Street. Are you sure?
Absolutely.
Yo, where are we going?
50th Street.
50th Street?
50th Street.
East, right?
East.
Over now.
Travel.
The RCMP believed that instead of driving Amber towards Edmonton, the unknown male actually drove Amber southeast along the rural Darke County roads. Since the recording was released, two women have come forward over the years and both stated to police that they recognized the man's voice in the recording. One woman states, "I know that voice. I've ridden with that voice on several occasions. There is no doubt in my mind that's his voice." While the other woman states, "The police didn't look very hard. I know that voice like the back of my own hand." Despite all of these leads, the two women identifying the same man, RCMP have stated that they have looked into the man in question, however ruled him out as a potential suspect. On a warm September afternoon, a couple was horseback riding on a farmer's field near Leduc County when they stumbled across partial skeletal remains. Sadly, the remains were linked to Amber Tuccaro. Amber was found just 70 minutes away from the motel in Nisku that they had stayed the night of her disappearance.
Staff Sergeant Gerard McNeil, that's Gerard MacNeil. I'm the unit commander at KARE. I bring you here today, and I thank you very much for coming. The RCMP confirmed today the human remains found on a rural property near Leduc, Alberta on Saturday, September 1st, 2012 are those of Amber Alyssa Tuccaro, who has been the subject of an RCMP missing person investigation since her disappearance in August 2010. A group of recreational horseback riders came upon what they believed to be a human skull and immediately contacted the RCMP at Leduc. Over the weekend, the remains were identified through dental records, and with the assistance of the Edmonton Medical Examiner's Office and RCMP Forensic Identification Services, KARE investigators became involved. We consider the circumstances surrounding Amber Tuccaro's death to be suspicious. A ground search of the area where her remains were found is underway and is expected to be completed within 48 hours. The KARE investigation into Amber Tuccaro's disappearance continues. This is very sad news for the Tuccaro family, and our thoughts are with them. This discovery brings us closer to finding out what happened to Amber.
The Tuccaro family filed a complaint towards the RCMP for mishandling the investigation, and in 2018, RCMP apologized to the family, and they received a report calling the investigation deficient and an open, active investigation. The RCMP made a statement on this active case, stating that they have received a tip on Amber Tuccaro's homicide. In early December 2019, the Banff RCMP was contacted by a male who alleged that his father may be responsible for a missing person from the Banff area. The male also stated that he believed his father may be linked to numerous missing persons and homicide files in Alberta. On January 20th, 2020, the male advised the RCMP that he believed his father to be also involved in the disappearance and murder of Amber Tuccaro. Over the years, there have been 4 other murdered women found on that same stretch of road. In 2005, police admitted these killings are likely an act of a serial killer. The person responsible for these homicides is going to be somebody's neighbor. He may be somebody's brother, but he will not look like the monster that we see in the movies. Edna Bernard was last seen September 22nd, 2002. Her remains were found the next day. She had been strangled and set on fire. Katie Sylvia Ballantyne, her remains found July 7, 2003. Cause of death not released. Dolores Brower was last seen May 15, 2004. Her remains found April 19, 2015. Cause of death not released. Corey Autumnbright was last seen May 9, 2004. Her remains found April 19, 2015. Cause of death not released. Amber Tuccaro's family held a vigil on her 10-year anniversary, and her mother says she doesn't know if her broken heart will ever be healed. "It's been an emotional day," Tootsie Tuccaro said. "It's painful. 10 years and still no answers for Amber. It's hard. It's really hard because it just never ends. It's getting harder because Jacob is asking more questions. He's 11 years old now. I have to be honest with him when he asks what happened to his mom. 10 years is a long time. I pray all the time that we get answers. We get a lot of tips and stuff, but not the right one. But it'll come. His day is coming. We are not going anywhere." Amber Tuccaro spent the last minutes of her life gaining valuable evidence. She wanted to be heard. She wanted this unknown man to be heard. She wanted justice. Amber deserves justice.